Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running as an independent. He is at times prone to indulging fringe beliefs on things like vaccine safety and what happened on 9/11. We sat down with him this week in Nashville and started by asking about President Biden's reluctance to cede power after more than 50 years in office.
I think he tarred that reputation and that career over the past year by refusing to let go of power.
Kennedy equated President Biden's hesitancy to then-President Trump's exit from office when he refused to accept the election results.
I don't think that President Trump did that graciously, and I don't think President Biden did either.
Earlier this month, Kennedy met with Trump at the GOP convention in Milwaukee, where reports surfaced he made a proposal to the former president.
Were you in those meetings prepared to end your campaign, endorse former President Trump, and accept a role in his administration?
No. President Trump called me a few hours after the
Was that ever any part of the discussion, those things I just described?
I won't talk about exactly what we discussed because it would be a violation of trust.
That week, a video surfaced with Kennedy talking to Trump on speakerphone.
And I think it'll be so good for you.
Kennedy's campaign remains mired in single digits and debt. His name is on the ballot in at least 10 states, and he is likely to be added to more in the coming weeks.
From whom do you believe you will draw more votes, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Well, I hope to draw votes from both of them. Right now, I draw many more votes from President Trump than from the
Is he happy with that?
Is President Trump happy? He isn't happy. And in fact, the RNC, I told him that when I saw him. And he was like, yeah, we got to do something about that. And
we also asked about a startling allegation that appeared in Vanity Fair that Kennedy groped a former babysitter in the late 1990s. Kennedy sent an apology text after publication.
I don't want to leave anybody in the world feeling like I did something that was insensitive or inappropriate.
Do you think you may have to do that ever again?
It's quite possible. I'm 70 years old. I had a very rambunctious life.
You can listen to the whole interview with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on my podcast, The Takeout, wherever you get your podcast.